to the nation's official post-game show for a Red Raider victory. Ring those victory bells, Blake. TCU comes to Lubbock and takes an L back to Fort Worth, 82-81. We are your hosts. I am TJ Kern. That is Blake Hartsfield. Blake, in the battle of the house divided, Team Dad wins tonight.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I'm obviously a Texas Tech guy and grad, and my wife went to TCU, graduated from TCU, so we have always little friendly rivalries on these kinds of games. It's nice to come out on the right side of this one. I did dress up our 6 month old in tech gear today. Got in trouble for that one, but don't care. We got the win. TJ, this was uh, sheer willpower to come out with a win tonight, 82-81 at home against TCU. TJ, they had no business winning this game. They got out rebounded by 13. No big fella in the middle. Warren Washington misses his second consecutive game with a foot injury. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Seems like you're being cautious with him. Seems like I'm hoping that it's caution, right? And just giving him all the time in the world to make sure he's 100% because we know how important he is. Um, TJ, their two best shooters. Well, with all due respect to Kerwin Walton, Kerwin Walton is in the conversation for best shooter on the team, but Chance McMillan and Pop Isaacs are both going through it right now. I think they're like 1 for 32 on their last 32 attempts from three, going over a couple of games. Pop Isaacs is like 0 for his last 15. But they're attacking the basket. TJ, sheer willpower. I still don't know how they won that basketball game tonight. But a win is a win in this conference, and you'll take it.
Hey, you are what your record says you are, my friend, which is something that we always like to say on this show. And now you've climbed all the way up into fourth place in the Big 12, which by yourself, by the way. And I didn't know this until they pointed it out on the broadcast. The top four seeds, this is going to be huge for the Big 12 tournament. If you can manage the top four seed, you're automatically in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, TJ, and they've got an opportunity. I mean, they're now tied with Baylor. Do you happen to know what happened in that Baylor BYU did beat Baylor? Okay, so you're now tied with Baylor. You're behind them at 8-5. Even though you have the same record, you're behind them on the back of their head-to-head victory in Waco. Um, they've got to play Houston on Saturday at home, so they are at home. But Houston is a handful, putting it nicely. You go to UCF on Saturday, so you look. You've got an opportunity to finish in the top four. I mean, UCF. Texas at home, at West Virginia, at Oklahoma State, and then the Baylor Bears for the last game of the season in Lubbock. So opportunities there. TJ, we got to give some credit to Kyron Lindsey tonight.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Texas Tech, Kyron Lindsey. That he was outstanding in mop up, not mop up. I mean in emergency duty. I apologize there, but outstanding tonight. TJ gave him a lot of big minutes down the stretch, made a lot of big plays. Finishes with 8 points, 7 rebounds. Was doing his best as an undersized big, but everybody stepped up tonight. TJ, Kerwin Walton 14 points, Darion Williams another good game with 14 points, and TJ. One thing I'll say about this team, they're tough, but they are excellent from the free throw line, and that's where they won this game in the second half.
Yeah, and I mean, we always text kind of a little back and forth during the game. And isn't it nice to not sweat free throws at the end? Like when it becomes a free throw contest, you feel like this team should win the game.
I mean, for sure. Pop Isaacs is 91%. Joe Tuassant's 87. Darion Williams is 85. Chance McMillan's 86. I mean, they've got 4 or 5 different. Kerwin Walton shoots at, north of 80%. Like, they've got 5 or 6 guys that all shoot it very, very well. And TJ, 24 of 28. And I think in the second half, I want to say they were like 13 of 15 or something in the second half. So, outstanding from the charity stripe, made every single big free throw down the stretch, and it did matter in an 82-81 game. They had to make all of them, and they did. So credit to the guys for stepping up and making big shots.
And I do want to call out Pop Isaacs. His shot may not be falling, but you look at the box score, the guy finishes with 19 points. And how about 6 rebounds from your point guard?
Yeah, I thought Pop Isaacs is played well. Obviously, he's struggling from the 3 point line. He's 0-5 tonight, but he knows he's in a slump. He will break out of that slump at some point. Shooters are going to continue to shoot. Takes one. But what I like TJ, and this comes back to what I said about him a couple of weeks ago, where I said he's way tougher than I ever thought he was. but like he's way tougher than anybody thinks he is. And the announcers even keep talking about it, how he's an underside. Like he is so freaking tough and is willing to go in and just get, pulverized in this conference as he attacks the rim and get to the free throw line where look, he's a great free throw shooter and he's got an ability to get up there and look, he should have had two and ones down the stretch in huge plays. Ends up only getting one and one, and McCaslin, I don't think was very happy about the first one. But look, credit to Pop Isaacs. He was really good the second half tonight.
And that's another side note. They need to fix that rule in college
I thought he
basketball.
was
Like,
already in the motion.
how is that not a basket?
Well, what else was he going to do? He'd already taken his two steps and was starting like okay, he hadn't moved the ball above his shoulder yet, but he's not passing it from that. So like, what else is he doing besides shooting?
Yeah, he's definitely going to the basket for sure.
It's terrible.
Welcome to the nation's official post-game show. Tech wins it tonight, 82-81 over TCU in the LBK. Blake in front of some former Red Raiders studs. Adonis Arms and Kevin O'Banner were in the house tonight. How good is it that the former Red Raiders come back to Lubbock?
Under a new coach as well. It's really really cool to see the support for the program. There's no doubt.
And I mean, we kind of talked about Kyron Lindsey a little bit. Kerwin Walton, obviously, with his shooting,
He can
continues to be a bright spot for this team.
Yeah, he's getting better and better, isn't he, TJ? I've gone from let's get Warren Washington, or I'm sorry, not Warren Washington. Let's get Kerwin Walton 2 to 3 looks a game to can we get him like 3 shots a half? Like can we run like 3 plays for him and get him like 3 open looks a half? Because if you get him 3 open ones, he's gonna make 2 of them. So yeah, he continues to play great and again, we've said it before, but testament to Coach McCaslin for the resurrection job there.
And speaking of Coach McCaslin, I mean, look, you and I are big fans of Warren Washington. We've said it on the podcast. We've talked about it like over and over on these post games. He is the most important player to this
Yes,
team's success as a whole and where they're going to go in March. I think both of us can sit here and nod our heads and agree, right? His
100%.
health, his health, and his ability to play and protect the rim and do the things that he does offensively, he's the most important piece to making a run in March. That being said, he's missed, back to back Big 12 games here. And look, I didn't get to see a lot of that game. I saw the highlights of the Iowa State game. Obviously, I had a previous commitment, but that game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. And they played that without Warren Washington. And then here we are. We come home and get out rebounded, like you said, by a gazillion, and you find a way to win the game.
Again, TJ, as we sit here and even as I continue to look over here on my other screen and look over this box score and the team stats, like I can't figure out how the Red Raiders won this game, TJ. They shoot 6 of 22 from three, so 27%, other than the free throw line, right? I guess that's the answer. It has to be. They went 24 of 28, and 13 of 15 in the second half, but they get out rebounded by 13. Um, Turnovers were pretty close, 12-9, so there's not really an advantage there. Points off turnovers, I guess they had a small like sheer willpower, TJ, and it's a testament to the culture, to the toughness, and look, you're right about Warren Washington, but they're battling, and Jennings and Kyron Lindsey are getting invaluable minutes right now and experience, and you can just you're seeing the growth before your eyes, right? They're getting more confident, they're getting better, they're getting more familiar with the system, what they need to be doing. Obviously, you need the big fella, but this team continues to find ways to win games, and that's really important. And to your point about the Iowa State game, yeah, they lost at Iowa State, but believe it or not, it actually helped them with a lot of the computer metrics and the efficiency ratings, which the committee takes into effect because the computers love Iowa State so much. The fact that the Red Raiders were able to close and make a run at the end of that game to only make it like an 8 point loss on the road looks really good in the metrics. So it actually ended up helping them.
Yeah, and welcome to the nation's official post-game show with TJ and Blake here. Once again, Red Raiders win tonight 82-81. And Blake, at UCF, we watched that game in Lubbock. It was an ugly one. Reminded us of Tech of old, right? First to 60 type game. UCF very athletic, very long. Their length kind of bothered the Red Raiders. And then they go on the road Saturday. So I expect another close game, a Big 12 road game, and we'll see what we can do. We do not know about the big fella. with or without him, I expect him to be in this game, though.
TJ, it's one you got to find a way to win. I understand that the game in Lubbock was competitive, but and UCF competes hard. They play good defense. TJ, this is a team that's lost 4 in a row now in the Big 12, going back, starting with the loss to you in Lubbock. They've lost 6 of their last 7. So they're reeling. They're definitely feeling the grind of the Big 12. Remember, this is their first year there. This is one of the 3 bottom. You look, 3 of your next 4 games with the Texas home game squeezed in there are road games against the 3 bottom teams in the league. So, I mean, look, go take care of business, beat the teams you're supposed to. I get that it's on the road, but like this team at this point is they're in the field, right? They're locked. A lot of bracketologists have them right on that 5-6 line. Like you go win 3 of the next 4, right? Beat Texas and get 2 of these 3 on the road. You're probably pushing to the top of the 5, back into the 4 line. So that's what they're playing for at this point. It's seeding in March.
So, all you guys watching, you got our Twitter X handles at the bottom of the screen, and then at Guns Up Nation, like, subscribe, all that good stuff to get more content from us. And Blake and I will be putting out a podcast at some point this week where we can get into more in depth into this basketball team and what's going on in Red Raider land. Once again tonight, Tech gets the victory 82-81 over the TCU Horned Frogs, which Blake and I always love. Blake, how do we always get out of here, bub?
Wreck 'em.
Wreck 'em. We'll talk to you guys soon.